Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Mysticall, and the other day I saw a comment asking about my key bindings and my macros, and I'm going to one-up that comment. I'm also going to add in the scripts that I use, because I do get that comment or question quite often. So let's just get right into it. We can just talk about where did my mouse go? Oh, there we go. We can talk about my key bindings real quick. Now, just like the UI, your key bindings are completely up to you. You know, they're completely whatever you want. Here, I'll do this. Actually, all right, yeah, we'll do that. So this is what my bars look like without. Actually, here, I'll one up this as well, and I'll just turn off dominoes. So this is what it looks like if I did not have dominoes and I just used a straight Blizzard bar, because I know some people do use that, which is fine. So. So this is what my bars look like normally. These are the ones that you see. This is one bar right here. This is my bottom one. This is my second one. This is my third one. And these are usually hidden. These are my Alt 1, 2, 3 for Incap 1, 2, 3, Disarm 1, 2, 3. And these are also my scripts and random mounts. So we can talk about them if you want. Movement speed, I mean, I highly recommend that you don't have backpedal keybound. There are scenarios where you do keep it bound. Me, for example, I tank sometimes. And it has to do with latency, where if you're trying to strafe away from a boss, sometimes latency, it registers as you're running, like your back is facing the boss, which means you can't parry. So I have backpedal keybound. And sometimes you'll see that. You can also, as a monk at least, if you backpedal and roll at the same time, you actually cheat torpedo or roll backwards. And I actually, I get away from melee a lot because they expect me to roll away, and they'll like try to predict me going ahead, and then I just move backwards, right, and port away. So yeah, that's kind of useful for monks. Now, if you don't play a monk and you don't tank, there's no excuse for having backpedal keybound. I really don't think there is. So my strafe left and right is A and D. You could also have Q, W, E as your movement. So your Q and E are your strafe right here, and then you have A and D free up. It's whatever you want. I just, you know, it's just habit that I have A and D. It's just what I used ever since I started playing the game. Multi-action bars. So I have a 12 button mouse. It's called the Logitech G600. Highly recommend. This mouse is so good. It has like independent button. It's just each button feels different, so you don't need to think about what button you're pressing. You just know, oh yeah, that's my 4 or that's my 7. You know, I highly recommend it. So I have shift 1 through 0 or 1 through 10, and then I have C and shift C. This is this bar right here, and then I have a bunch of keyboard keybinds for like these abilities. Buttons I really want to hit fast. I have on my keyboard. So on my Windwalker, my kick is E, just because it's like right by my movement. You know, it's right there. My port is X, just because I don't know. I think I can hit it pretty fast. You know, stuff like that. My shadow meld is 11, which is kind of awkward. It's like the top rightmost button on your mouse, but that's comfortable for me. It's just habit, really. I don't have my R. Oh, R is to respond to people, I think. Yeah, when people are running their mouth to me, I make sure I respond back real fast. I get this question a lot, is how do I target my party members? So target self is my middle mouse button. So the mouse wheel, if you click down on it, that's targeting me. That's how I target myself. And then to target party members, mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down. The only downside to mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down is if you're playing with somebody that has a pet. So you'll have to like, you can't just like spam mouse wheel up or spam mouse wheel down. You have to like really slowly mouse wheel up and down to target their pet. So that's the only downside to it. Now there are different ways to target. I'm pretty sure I've seen people use F1, F2, F3. They just remap it to 1 2 3, and then on your mouse you do that. You can actually see that I remapped my 1. Oh no, weird. Usually I have my 1. Oh yeah, right here, F1, because for some reason my 1 doesn't work, but it works as F1. It's weird. So yeah. Those are my keybinds. They're nothing crazy. Trust me, there's nothing crazy. I have tiny hands. So I have a really tiny keyboard. It's a Corsair K65 RGB. I'm pretty sure it's a compact one, so it doesn't have the additional numpad, and it's really tiny. I like the feeling of it, and it's small enough where I can reach like R and T without having to worry about it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's it for keybinds. Now, as far as macros go, if you're new and you hit slash, here, I'll pull this up, /M, it brings you to your macros tab. I can't bring this over, no. And this is where the magic happens as far as macros go. Thankfully, as a Mistweaver, we've been blessed with not having to use that many macros. The only ones that I have are Arena 123 Paralysis and Arena 123 Grapple Weapon. Before it was Soothing Mist Honor Talent. Here, I can pull this. So I have a PASTEBIN. I'll put a link to it in the description. Come on, get down here. Yeah. So this is the PASTEBIN. Let me go to the original. So I have a few here. This is just one of the trinkets that was in an old raid. Same with this. Here are my macros. So you have a Paralysis 1, 2, 3. You have my Disarm, or I could probably edit that to Grapple Weapon just so people don't get confused. All right, we have Grapple Weapon 1, 2, 3. Provoke. So here's my Provoke macro. Basically, if I provoke something fast enough, here, let me get the turnip out. I wasn't expecting to use it. There's the turnip, and let's say a hunter is about to trap you. It's actually my shift 6 right here. I just have it look like Thunder Focus Tea because I want my bars to look nice, and I don't normally need to track provoke. So if a hunter is about to trap me, I can provoke it. So if there's no pet at all, it'll just use provoke. But if one of the enemies has a pet, it'll provoke the pet. You can also do the same thing with the Mage Water Elemental. You can provoke the Water Elemental right before you get polyed, but it has to be like pretty exact. Like they need to be almost finishing cast. The timing needs to be there. So then we got Jade Serpent Statue. So what this macro does is, let me go into my macros. Okay, so what this macro does is, if you're lazy like me, or if you're constantly find yourself moving your statue around, which you should be doing that in Arena. What this does is it just places it wherever your mouse is. You don't have to place it anymore. So it's really useful for the beginning of the game, and if you don't want to place anything, even in the middle of a game where you don't want to spend that extra second to like figure out to do that extra click, you don't even need to do it. Bam, you just do it. And that's actually what this next macro also does. This is Ring of Peace macro. So this Ring of Peace macro does the exact same thing. So let's say I'm right here and I don't want to do the extra click. It's just right on my mouse. Now be careful with this, because on some maps your camera can go like this, right? And you might think you're using Ring of Peace here, but it's actually going to be up here. It's so annoying when it happens, and it happens to me quite a few times. That's why I don't I mean, I use it, but not too often. So again, sometimes if your camera goes like this, you might think you're placing it here, but you're placing it here. So that's what's up with that macro. This is my stop casting macro. It's nothing crazy. It's this one right here. So if I hit it, it stops. Hit it, stop. It's how you juke people. I still use it to juke people. Life Cocoon. So this is probably, if there's one macro you use out of this entire video, it's this one. So when I first started playing Mistweaver, and someone was about to die in like an RBG or a random battleground, I would press Cocoon, but they'd be dead and I'd use it on myself. So that kind of stinks, right? So basically what this does is, see how I was targeting myself and I got Life Cocoon? If I'm not targeting anybody at all, so if I target nobody and I press Life Cocoon, it won't go off. I could probably do it in another minute, and I'll show you what it's like. So these are my Detox 1, 2, 3. These are these macros right here. Basically, if you're targeting this guy, but let's say this is your party 1, and your party 2 just gets put into a polymorph, you don't want to take the time to target Arena 2. dispel, and then go back to healing arena 2. It takes way too much time, and you lose the opportunity on a kill in case they're low health. So basically, this allows you to dispel without having to untarget this guy. So you could use dispel right now, and you don't have to deselect this guy, right? Oh, look at this guy. Nice mount, dude. Is that Riverdale? Nice. And now, as far as talents go, now I get pretty annoyed when I switch to, let's do this. I get pretty annoyed when I switch from Chi-Ji to statue, and then it's grayed out like that, right? But something's there, so it looks like, you know, and then you don't realize you haven't been using statue for like half the game. What this macro does, I believe I have it tier 6. It should be right here, yeah. So basically what this does is you put it on your bar, right? And now every time you switch, it switches to what talent you use. Doesn't matter which one in that row. Bam. So let's say you're not playing a monk, right? And, oh, one sec. So I'm not targeting anybody right now, right? I hit Life Cocoon. Life Cocoon doesn't go off. You see that? I could hit this as much as I want. Life Cocoon isn't going to happen until I select myself Life Cocoon. So now you're not wasting Life Cocoon in an RBG, or let's say, I don't know, a 2s or something, and you just can't waste it. So it's really useful. So let's say you don't play a monk, and you have alts. You know, normal players have alts. You want to make macros for those. So when it comes to making macros, I would highly recommend. Let's see if I can get Notepad. I would highly recommend getting your Notepad open, right? And let's say you play Frostmage, right? Just make a list of things that you find yourself targeting multiple players. So polymorph, right? You use polymorph to peel. CS, right? Counterspell. You might counterspell the healer. You might counterspell DPS. Is there anything else that you really do? Or let's say you play rogue, right? And you got cheap shot, you got blind, you got kidney shot. What else you got? I mean, that's pretty much it, right? I can't think of anything else. You got garrote if you're playing assassination. So just go through your spell book and just find some abilities that you put on multiple enemies and try and figure out. Entangling Roots is pretty good. That's pretty good to have on Arena 1, 2, 3. And, you know, just do stuff like this. You know, I don't think Shaman has many. I think you have Hex, right? Oh, you have Wind Shear. So, yeah. I would highly recommend always having your Interrupt on Arena 1, 2, 3. And if you don't have a kick like me, try and have something that's Arena 1, 2, 3. I have, what do I have? I have Paralysis. I have Grapple Weapon. If I was Panda, I'd have Panda Racial. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. So yeah, those are as far as macros go. And now as far as scripts go, scripts sound fancy, but they're really not. They just do certain things for you. Actually, let me show you guys real quick. Which one is it? Is this, let me run this script before and just show you guys. That's it. So I'll show this one. Hopefully I get into a queue. Let's, if it doesn't happen, I'll just try to explain it, but it's easier to show. So where are my scripts at? So my scripts are right here. This first one is Arena 1, 2, 3. That's the one I'm going to try and show you with the skirm. Make sure you run it before. You want to run all of these right when you get into the game, but if you forget, just make sure you run this one before you get into an arena, because it won't work that first arena. It'll work after that. So basically what it does is if you have nameplates enabled, instead of the players' names, like let's say this is, I don't know, this is, this is Arena 1, but his name's like, I don't know, Johnny. It'll just have a 1 right here. It's easier when you have 1, 2, 3 macros. You know, it helps you figure out who to cast on what. The second one, this is probably the most useful one I have. This always puts you on the bottom of the group. So it helps with your detox macros, and if you're using other macros like Arena 1, 2 macros, you want to run that. You don't have to run that when you log in, but you want to run that when you before you get into a group. So I'm gonna run it before I get into a group, and this should put me on the bottom. We'll see. It should. We'll see. So there you go. You see, I ran the script. What's this guy doing? And how is it double rogue versus double hunter? What the hell? You can see I'm on the bottom. So now this is a party 1. This is party 2. So I can dispel, right? So this is that dispel macro right here. This party 1, dispel party 2, and I dispel this guy right here without having to target him, right? So I'm targeting myself. Dispel this guy without targeting. Dispel this guy without targeting. It's faster, and your DPS will love you. Trust me. So I guess I'll play this game out just to show you guys this script right here. This one right, the Arena 1, 2, 3. I get this question a lot. So first talents go. This is fine. Actually, I don't want Crane. I want Surging, and this is okay. Okay, so we got Double Hunter. I'm really not sure of the strat as Double Hunter. As long as he doesn't get my Rogue out, it really doesn't matter. I'm not in combat. Actually, I might Shadow Mode. There you go. So they have sap now, right? And now they're literally gonna one shot something. I can feel it. Here comes the fear. I guess it's not coming. We're trying to juke the hunter right now. We got both. Oh my god! I just ran right into that. Oh, that's a stun on the priest. I got a full stun off, and we're just gonna kick him in the face. Oh, and he dies. So you can see 1, 2, 3. So you can see this hunter is Arena 1, and you can see the 1 there. Oh, I'm gonna dispel. He traded. And this hunter was Arena 3, and you can see 3. You know, so it's useful for Arena 1, 2, 3 macros. It's not just useful for monks. It's really good for all healers like that. And we'll just kill this guy. All right, good skirm, good skirm. And then the last one is a weather script. So in arenas like Blade's Edge Arena, where it's super orange. If you guys don't, if you haven't noticed it, then maybe you don't need to run it. But it's super orange, and on Tiger's Peak when it's like really snowing, it bothers me as a healer. It's hard for me to focus, and I actually dropped frames in Blade's Edge before this script. Because when it got super orange, I would just lag. Like, straight, I would just lag. My frames would drop from, like, what is it now? From 100 to, like, 3 for some reason. So this script, you run it, the weather density gets put down to 0. It doesn't go away, but it's not that noticeable. And that's pretty much it for that. I mean, mouse over macros. So if you raid, I'm probably mentioning this a little too late. I mean, if you're a raider, welcome. These are my mouse over macros. So obviously raids are larger than 3 people. So clicking and then having a clickless spell it takes more time. It's the same reason why you're using the Ring of Peace macro, right? So you want to save time. So what this does is, I could. So if I put this here, right? If I target myself, oh, I have no target. Oh, that's weird. Target, use mouse over. Oh, weird. All right, yeah, I guess it doesn't work. Yeah. All right, well, I'll figure that out. But yeah, if they're mouse over macros, yeah, there we go. And basically, if you mouse over somebody, you should be able to cast it actually. Target equals mouse over it. Should be it. Oh, there we go. Wait, no. This guy? No. Weird. He's undead. Wait, is this guy a Horde Panda? We're looking for, that's an Auric. Alright, looking for an ally. Alright, human. Did that work on him? Weird. But yeah, mouse over macros, really useful for PvE. And that's pretty much it. This one. Fortifying Brew Healthstone. Pretty good if you're playing with a Destro Lock. You don't do that too often, but still pretty good. And I think that's all of them. Yeah, if you have any questions. So obviously there's one for tier 5, right? One for tier 5. There's one for tier 4. I can put that in the PASTEBIN. And that's it, team. That's actually it. There's a Healing Sphere one. So, you know, if you spec into Healing Sphere, this should work. Show, bam. You don't need to do that extra click, right? Right there, you see? Oh, wait, what? No, that one's not working either. All right. I'll fix that one. At cursor. That's kind of weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it. hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was useful. Hope you found some good macros, scripts. Yeah, this is a good page. I'll keep this updated. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later.